Pat Healy, the star. David Chicharrillo, the writer. And Travis Stevens, the producer.
So I'll start with a question, and we'll open it up to the floor. I actually have a question for the writer. So yeah, it was. There's
This
a lot
is
of
a first.
Yeah,
No one ever asked the writer a question.
I was just hoping you could tell us a little bit about your writing process with all the huge climactic scenes and how sort of the whole script evolved over time.
Well, it evolved over time, frankly. And we worked really hard on trying to make it feel believable in every step of the way so that you're with the character of Craig and you understand every single move that he makes in every single moment that he makes a move. I know it's profound. But yeah, so it took a long time, and Evan and Travis, obviously we had a lot of meetings, and Trent also, who could not be here with us today, who kind of was the backbone of the whole thing, who came up with the concept of having these two guys and doing this whole crazy scenario. And then I just felt that it needed to be funnier, frankly. So, yeah, long story short, there you go.
It was funny. It was great.
Yeah.
It worked.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm sure we have a lot of questions.
Kind of following up, so Trent's original script was kind of skewing more just straight drama as opposed to having, because I mean that's kind of what he does is a lot of the levity and the lighter touch.
There's probably less humor. It was in a hotel room versus a house, and there's some differences in the characters. But it was he played it pretty straight. But this was just. It's essentially the same kind. It's the same movie, but we just played around with some of the tonal shifts.
I mean, the thing for us was, Trent had the blueprint there, but when you met Colin and Violet, you just, as soon as it hit there, you felt like you were in a Saw movie. So, we spent a lot of time sort of figuring out how do we sort of delay the audience catching on to what these two are up to as long as possible. And so we came up with this idea of like, oh, Colin's like a dude who's on like a fucking coke binge in Vegas, and like you just get swept up with him, and that'll disarm the audience, and they won't suspect him. And so that's sort of what happened.
And I grew up in St. Louis, and I grew up in a fairly affluent suburb. And the character of Colin was actually based on a couple of people that I actually knew who were super duper rich, or their parents were rich. And basically the way that they would get friends is ultimately by saying, well, hey, do you want to go to lunch with me? And then you'd be like, no, I don't really like you, man. And they'd be, but I'll pay for you. And then you'd be like, oh, all right, yeah, okay, hey, let's go to lunch. And so that was kind of where the character of Colin came from, I feel like, in that, this person who is ultimately essentially a sociopath, but kind of just wants to be loved, but doesn't understand how to be a human being so that he could be loved by other people. So he uses what he has, which is money.